All right, and away we go. I think we're live. Let's go, baby.
In the ports of entry, but that's not your experience, is it?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kennedy?
The bad guys are using drones. Does anybody?
Wait. Isn't he preset?
Thank you, Scott. Nice to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you.
Are we ready to introduce these people now? Yes? Nobody tells me what's going on. All right, he's a marketing professor and author of the best-selling book, Notes on Being a Man, Scott Galloway. He hosts Fareed Zakaria GPS on CNN and is author of Age of Revolutions, Fareed Zakaria. And he's a contributing opinion writer for the New York Times and hosts the podcast Central Air, Josh Barrow. Okay. If you missed the show itself, Scott is trading on my applauding him for telling young men to drink. Not to excess, just so you could talk to a girl. Okay. It does help get your courage up. I mean, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were talking about safetyism before and all the ways it's hurt things when they think they're doing a good job with making everything foolproof, childproof for the world, and nobody ever dies. But, you know, there are always some other side to it. All right, let's get to the people's questions. This week, the U.S. Mint pressed its final pennies. Wasn't this long overdue? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it costs them more to make a penny than a penny is worth.
It's amazing it took this long.
Yeah. I liked John Lovett's proposal. He wants to have 10, 20, and 50-cent coins, then we can get rid of the whole second decimal place. Prices will just be in a tenth of a dollar instead of a hundredth.
John Lovett from Saturday Night Live?
No, John Lovett from, like, PodSave. Maybe they should team up.
From PodSave? Come on, bro.
As the famous philosopher.
Yeah, right. And what does Carrot Top say about it? Yes, of course. I mean, it's amazing that I used to do this example of how the government, once a program
What's up,
starts,
Jennifer?
no matter what it
Thank
is,
you,
mohair
thank you.
subsidies, whatever, you COVID, some
Hit
some
10K,
COVID stuff,
then down to 9997.
The mohair subsidies
We'll be
is
there
amazing one, 'cause
soon.
It was started in World
Thank
War
you,
II.
thank you.
because
Gonna
mohair
hit
was what we
10K
used for army
again
uniforms.
together.
I think it finally got repealed in 2010.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, so World War II ended 1945, as I recall.
And then on our way to 100K. Damn.
Our healthcare system is really based on World War II era thinking about healthcare. Remember, they couldn't pay people.
100% means we can celebrate again.
That's how we got this employer-based system. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. It wasn't even really thinking. It was that they set wage controls to try to stop inflation from getting out of control during the war. And so companies, to get around them, started giving people health insurance as a benefit because they couldn't actually raise their wages. So it was
What's
like a
up,
crutch.
man?
So good.
And then it evolved into our whole system.
Good riddance to the pen. Although,
You think it's Min and Skylar? They would not, they wouldn't unsubscribe if their life depended on it. This is their whole life. The attention they get from me and you guys, it's more than they get anywhere else in their lives. More than their own family, probably.
what is Spotify going to use to pay recording artists?
That's good. That's good. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Here's another one. Should we eliminate daylight savings time? That's a perfect follow-up question, because it's another bullshit thing based on...
People love to complain about this, but they're really just mad that there's less daylight in the winter.
Yes! That's why we're mad!
Right, but the government, they can't change the axial tilt of the Earth. What daylight savings time does is...
but we couldn't. We make it worse.
We make it better, because if you don't change the clocks, then you waste a bunch of time. Like, the sun will rise at 4:30 in the morning in the summer, and people are asleep. They don't get to enjoy the daylight. This way, most people get to wake up approximately a little bit after the sun comes up, and then they can enjoy as much daylight as is available in the day. And the reason, we fight over this all the time. The Nixon administration did this. They got rid of daylight saving time.
What up, Hugh? No, they're talking about ending it. They're wondering. They're being asked these questions from the audience.
And what they found was that people were really angry because they were waking up. They kept it on daylight saving time. So it was like in the winter, the sunrise was really late, and people were really mad. They were like, "Oh, my kid has to walk to school in the dark now." And it was supposed to be a 2-year experiment. They ended it early because people got so mad. They brought it back to the system that we have. It's people will just complain about anything. They're always mad that it's dark in the winter, but they'll complain even more if you actually
So I get, we all get paid to have opinions on everything. I have no opinion on this.
I do.
He didn't even take a sip of his beer. He's already buzzing, bro. Look at him.
The daylight saving
He just looked at
experts
it.
in America,
He took
they can
one
have it
sip.
out.
He took one
I'll
sip.
accept whatever the
I
outcome
guess
is.
I'm pissed off because I don't live on this schedule. That's why.
Right. When do you wake up?
Closer to noon than dawn. This is for you, Scott. Does the sports gambling scandal reflect a larger societal problem? I guess they mean that both in basketball now and in baseball, we've had 2 scandals where the players were in on it. That hasn't happened in a while. Does this reflect a larger societal problem?
Yeah, you could argue that the most profitable companies in the world tap into a flaw in our instincts. And since we came off the savannah, absence of salty, sugary, fatty foods, absence of mating opportunities, and absence of free play and gaming. So we become addicted to trans fats, addicted to porn, addicted to gambling apps because we're not used to the institutional production. Our instincts haven't caught up to the institutional production. Gambling is probably unfortunately, another thing that's tapping into a pretty immature male brain that wants more dopa hits. 1 out of 2 college-age males bet on the Super Bowl. And you're going to see probably the biggest IPOs of next year will be Kalshi and Polymarket, because now they're trying to pretend that it's not gambling if you're betting on a mayoral race. The reality is when you legalize gambling in a state, you see bankruptcies go up 30%. And this is not investing. It's essentially, again, putting Vegas in people's pockets. And it's going to have really negative externalities. I'm not entirely sure what you do about it because you don't need to want to infantilize people, but you need to educate young men to be clear. You're not investing, you're gambling. And the only reason these companies are going to have the biggest IPOs next year is because over the medium and the long term, it's impossible to lose. So have a good time, have at it. I love Vegas, but be clear, you're going to lose all your money.
You know, they say that these GLPs actually decrease your desire for gambling. Have you found that?
You hear what they're saying? The GLPs, like Ozempic type peptides, the GLPs, they reduce your want to gamble.
You're less willing to...
GLPs, that's
Listen to what he's saying.
You know, they say that these GLPs actually decrease your desire for gambling. Have you found that? You're less willing to...
GLPs, that's Ozempic?
That's Ozempic and Wegovy. Yeah.
I have not. I mean, I'm not a huge gambler. I'll go to Vegas. I'll play some craps. I'll play poker. It hasn't changed my desires around that. But I think that the crazy thing with these scandals is they're not even betting on the games. They're betting on things like, will the next pitch be faster than 97 miles an hour?
Right.
So you can bet on every pitch.
Every pitch.
And that means that if you're a pitcher, you can just all you have to do is flub one pitch. You don't have to conspire with the rest of your team to lose the game. So I think legalizing sports gambling has not gone great. I would be happy to see us go back to the old system. But one other thing they could do is they could prohibit some of these proposition bets that are especially vulnerable to these kinds of scandals, and then also go to this kind of degenerate behavior. It's like, why do you have to bet on every individual pitch? Can't you watch the baseball game and maybe just bet on who's going to win the game?
Just enjoy.
Dude, gambling's gotten wild. Every individual pitch, every single little tiny piece that can be calculated that has a metric behind it is being bet on at the moment. It's wild.
But I wonder, I mean, of course I agree with you. I wonder once technology has been unleashed and you can do all this, so people, if you ban it in America, won't they just set it up in the Cayman Islands and then you do it through there?
Well, I mean, I think the other thing we're seeing is it's pretty easy to catch the people who do these schemes. A lot of these pro athletes are not that bright. And like if there's like a whole bunch of huge bets on random actions of some not especially famous player, like it's easy if if you get a leaked copy of the earnings report and you buy a ton of options 3 hours before it comes out, the SEC will catch you. Sort of similar stuff here where like some people will just go to prison.
Unless you're a congressman.
Are they? Hugh says they want to do that with golf too. Are they not doing that with golf already?
What is the panel's reaction to the turmoil at the BBC over how they edited Trump's January 6th comments? Well, they did do him dirty. There's no doubt about it. They purposely put together something to make it look like he didn't say what he said. Or the opposite.
The tragedy is what he said was bad enough. Why did you have to doctor it? I mean, I don't understand it.
What is he talking about? How is what Trump said bad enough? Trump said, we'll go down to the Capitol, and he didn't really say much. He just said he's going to go down there with them.
It was, well, you know, because that one to me was never a smoking gun. Now, do I think he should have handled January 6th differently? Very much so, I do. But it was always, you can pull out the thing where he says peaceful protests. Yeah. He uses the word peaceful. It was always murky. To me, the crime was always simply never conceding the election.
And calling up the Georgia Secretary of State and saying, find me 11,000 votes.
But that wasn't that day.
Yeah.
And wait.
W. Anthony, bro, Trump 2028, baby. How are we gonna make that happen?
For like 3 hours to try to pull the bomb off.
Is it J.D. Vance Trump?
But I'm telling, from the whole time the election was over until this very moment, he still hasn't done it. When you don't concede elections, yes, they're going to be.
That's my point. Is there's plenty of stuff that he's done that you just have to list as you just did. You don't need to make stuff up. You don't need AI for this. You know.
What is Fareed Zakaria talking about, bro? What exactly did Trump say that was that bad? Like he's saying you don't even have to doctor up that video. They totally made up that video. They made it sound like completely opposite of what Trump said. So I don't know what he means.
Yeah.
There's always hope, bro. He's the great white hope.
The great white hope.
That's right.
The great white hope.
Yeah, baby.
Traditional media does a better job of fact. Don't we hold them to an entirely different standard? Fox News knows that they're spreading misinformation about voting machines being weaponized by Hugo Chavez. They knew it was a lie. They continue to promote that misinformation. They get fined $750 million. What happened on Fox was a dumpster fire compared to the nuclear mushroom cloud that happens every 3 minutes on social media. 2/3 of Americans get their news from social media, and yet they are held to absolutely no standards. And when the BBC fucks up, we are hairs on fire. Yeah. Why on earth are we not?
What up, Random? Good to see you, bro. What did he just say? I don't know.
Applying
Should I go back?
Information about voting machines being weaponized by Hugo Chavez. They knew it was a lie. They continue to promote that misinformation. They get fined $750 million. What happened on Fox was a dumpster fire compared to the nuclear mushroom cloud that happens every 3 minutes on social media. 2/3 of Americans get their news from social media, and yet they are held to absolutely no standards. And when the BBC fucks up, we are hairs on fire. Yeah. Why on earth are we not applying anything resembling the same standards for algorithmically elevated content to these quote-unquote nascent platforms? I get that the BBC screwed up, but by that standard, where we're getting 2/3 of our news screws up about 1 million times a second, there's a double standard here. We need to make big tech and where people get their news a fraction as accountable as we want to hold the BBC or CNN or Time Warner. A double standard, it needs to end.
Here's one for you. What is the arc of happiness in life? Oh, that's in your book.
It's very straightforward.
Why are the ages of 24? You said, and again, I'm not the typical one.
Traditional media does a better job of fact checking? How is that? I don't think they do, bro.
Yes, because I don't get up when people get up.
I know that's what he said, but I don't think traditional media does that. He got as far as traditional media does a better job at, and then he trailed off. Yep.
This is exactly the opposite of my thing. But I remember reading it in your book, and what you say is the arc of happiness is people tend to be pretty happy until about 25.
Yeah, that's essentially what he's saying to censor people. But the problem is he's trying to not have a distinction between BBC and social media. For example, he's trying to say that BBC as trying to be like an actual, like, you know, something where they're presenting you with the actual facts and the news to be the same thing as anyone that wants to get on the internet and talk. Like, for example, me, for example, everyone knows if I'm going to say something, I'm not going to be like the BBC where I'm changing the complete tide of the nation and people are taking every word that I say as a complete fact. I can't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm just some guy, right? But the BBC is supposedly giving you factual information. And when they're giving you, well, when I show you videos, I'm not doctoring videos either, to be honest. BBC to come out here and actually completely change the video of what Trump said to make it seem like he said the exact opposite by splicing up the video and putting things next to each other that were an hour apart. That's pretty janky. That's pretty lame, to be honest.
And then from 25 to...
That doesn't make any sense. So for him to kind of make it the same thing, I don't think that makes any sense.
Difficult years. And then you get a little happier again later.
W Noah, bro, thank you for the super chat. He says Ground News app is always the best at getting facts from all sources. I agree. However, prior to that, we didn't. I don't think we had Ground News, but I'm not sure if we had Ground News at that time or not. But when BBC put that out, they literally, took a video, played a video, and doctored it to be the exact opposite. Even me, if I was to put some videos, I'm not doctoring any videos to put the exact opposite. And when I do edit videos for Instagram and for YouTube Shorts, I do slight edits, not ever changing, the actual context of what's being said.
I hated up until 25. and then it got good.
That's unusual. So, hold on.
I don't think it's that unusual. But it's
across ethnicities, income groups, and cultures, the research
Jennifer says, and they said unedited. I didn't know they said that. That's even worse.
is really clean. If you cross an age spectrum, happiness is a smile. 0 to 25 is prom, Star Wars, making out. It's pretty good. Generally speaking, it's pretty good.
I didn't go to prom.
25.
I wasn't making out.
25 to 45 is what I call the shit gets real part of your life. And that is, regardless of what university your parents told you, you're not going to be a senator or have a fragrance named after you. Having kids is difficult, economic strain. Someone you love a great deal and loves you gets sick and dies.
I call it the shit gets good.
But then...
Shit gets good era.
Then something wonderful happens.
No kids.
About the time you hit your 50s, earlier if you're soulful, you recognize the finite nature of life, you have friends, maybe a little bit of economic security, and you start finding joy in unusual places. You start finding... Like, I find bougainvillea fascinating now. I just would have never thought that. And so the lesson
Those of you that don't know, bougainvilleas are flowers.
is the following.
That's a very weird aside.
Yeah, Brian, they're drinking Coronas on the show. But I completely disagree with this guy on this point. And I disagree with this guy on quite a few things, but this I definitely disagree on. Now, listen to what he says here.
Of happiness in life. Oh, that's in your book.
And this guy, I guess, wrote a book on this happiness. But check out what he says here.
Very straightforward.
Why are the ages of 20? You said, and again, I'm not the typical one, I guess, because I don't get up when people get up. And this is exactly the opposite of my thing. But I remember reading it in your book, and what you say is the arc of happiness is people tend to be pretty happy until about 25, and then from 25 to 45 are the difficult years. And then you get a little happier again later. I hated up until 25. and then it got good.
Okay, so I agree with Bill Maher, and I'll tell you in a second. Listen to what this guy says on the right.
So, hold on.
I don't think it's that unusual. But it's
across ethnicities, income groups, and cultures, the research is really clean. If you cross an age spectrum, happiness is a smile. 0 to 25 is prom, Star Wars, making out. It's pretty good. Generally speaking, it's pretty good.
I didn't go to prom.
25.
I wasn't making out.
25 to 45 is what I call the shit gets real part of your life. And that is, regardless of what university your parents told you, you're not going to be a senator or have a fragrance named after you. having kids is difficult.
So again, I said check out what he says, because he says 0 to 25 is supposed to be like the funnest part of your life. You know, he's talking about going to prom and having your first kisses or whatever he's talking about. I personally did not like school. I was not a fan of junior high, high school. I didn't like doing homework. I didn't like being forced to learn certain things and all that kind of stuff. Although I get it. I mean, we all need it, but I just didn't like. It wasn't like the funnest part of my life. What up, State Line? I enjoy the harder things. I enjoy learning and growing. And so I enjoyed the parts that he says are the worst parts. Like he says from 25 to 45. I love that. That's a fun part for me. And the fun part for me is the part where you're going after it and you're realizing who you are, and you're every day you're changing and growing. And it's like, it's just becomes every day is more exciting than the previous day. So I personally love that part. I love who I'm becoming throughout the journey. I'm excited to see what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm excited to see what I'm going to do next. So that for me is the fun part. And guys, we hit 10K again, only because we hit 10K earlier today, in the first stream today. I got off the stream. A couple people fell off. We got to 99, 97. And now we're back up to 10K again. And we're celebrating all over again. But thank you guys. Who was it in the chat? WWW. Let's see. Who is it? Who was it? Who was it, dude? Where did we already pass it up? Oh, yeah, we did. Fritz. I think Fritz hit 10K with us. I think he was number 10K.
Someone
Maybe.
you
I
love
don't know.
A great deal and loves you gets sick and dies.
Yeah,
It
I
is
call it
really
the shit
difficult.
gets good.
See, Bill Maher is more on par with how I feel. What's up, William? Nathan says, what's 10K? 10K is this number right here above my finger. You see this right here? This is 10K right here. Now it's 10,003. You see that? Subscribers.
But then,
Shit gets good, Era.
then something wonderful happens.
No kids.
About the time you hit your 50s, earlier if you're soulful, you recognize the finite nature of life, you have friends, maybe a little bit of economic security, and you start finding joy in unusual places. You start finding, like, I find bougainvillea fascinating now. I just would have never thought that. And
Bougainvillea, bro.
the lesson is the
Bougainvillea.
following.
That's a very
Plants,
weird,
bro.
Are you sure I didn't do it right?
The lesson is straightforward. If you're 30 years old and you're struggling and your relationships are stressful and you have some economic stress and you think, this is just harder than I thought, that's exactly where you should be. And what I would say is keep on keeping on. Happiness waits for you.
To me,
These are bougainvilleas. They're like little paper flowers. Those little thin ass little paper flowers that grow like vines, and at some parts of the year they explode with blooms. They're really cool. Bougainvillea, guys. There you go. In Farsi, they're called gol kaghazi. That means paper flower. Actually, is a little translation.
bottom line,
I think I have your next book, Bill.
And I grew up with a major green thumb from my dad. My dad loved plants, flowers. I learned how to graft roses, how to make, basically if you have a red rose, you can take a white rose and graft a white rose branch onto a red rose branch. And now this red rose has its red roses, but also on this branch you grafted can have white roses. So learn how to do that with not just roses, but fruit trees and lots of citruses that you can blend together and all kinds of stuff.
Next book is going to be How I Broke All of Scott Galloway's Views, and I'm rich and happy as hell.
well, I gotta say, I mean, what you're really saying, bottom line, is that the unhappy years are the years when you have kids. But it's true. I know that. But, and I've said this before, like, I have never had kids, so I can't speak first person, but unless there's a giant conspiracy going on.
W. Nathan Gutierrez, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Yes. Flowers that have good smells. Of course, jasmine. And what's the other flower that smells like jasmine? Man, why am I blanking on the name? I always blank on that damn name. They're white and they're even more fragrant than jasmine.
In this country, where every TV show, every movie, every person who talks about it on talk shows presents it as a total fucking nightmare. Unless this is some giant conspiracy. I heard some lady
Gardenia.
on some show the other day talking about, I've never had.
Nathan called it, bro. Gardenia. Hell yeah, bro. Gardenias are probably my favorite fragrant flowers.
She says, I never have one moment of peace to myself. I wish I could have just 1 hour where I wasn't packing lunches or doing this or doing that. And I just want to say to her, you parent, you did this to yourselves. You did. Because my parents did not feel this obligation to be on me all the time and to make every moment of my life there.
Let's get a little bit of Jesse, huh? Should we get Jesse or Trump? This is Trump like an hour ago off the plane.
Okay, everybody, we had a great weekend. From an economic standpoint, our prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things. They're already at a much lower level than they were with the last administration. And we worked on it this weekend, and you're going to see some of the items that were a little bit higher. They were lower than the last administration, but a little bit higher. We're going to have some little price reductions, and in some cases, some pretty good ones. They use the affordability word. The affordability is much, much better with this. And again, I go to Walmart and other companies, and in every case, it's about 25%.
So you guys notice Trump is talking about price of goods and prices going down, cost of living stuff. He's talking about economy. That's something that we have noticed that they have been saying, hey, we need to keep the focus on cost of living. We need to keep the focus on economy. We can't go off in these tangents. We got to stick to these things. These are important for the the elections that are coming up, and will be important in the next 3 years.
That a meal at
for the elections in 2028.
Thanksgiving meal and surroundings are 25% lower than it was under the Biden administration. That's a big fact, and that comes from Walmart and others that do that. Okay? Any questions?
Any update on Venezuela, Mr. President? On Venezuela, update?
No update on Venezuela.
Designation of that cartel associated with Maduro, does that mean that the U.S. government can target Maduro's assets or infrastructure inside Venezuela?
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
Mr. President, Representative Massey says he's concerned that the Epstein probe you are calling for could be a smokescreen to block the release of more files. Is that the case?
Well, I don't want to talk about it because fake news like you're a terrible reporter, and fake news like you, they just keep bringing that up to deflect from the tremendous success of the Trump administration. So a guy like Massey, his poll numbers are showing he's at 6% approval rating right now. And we call him Rand Paul Jr. because he never votes for the Republican Party. So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Mr. President,
I want to hear that one more time.
Hold on. That up. News like you're
for could be a steam probe. He says
they would like to talk.
Let's hear this question.
Representative Massey says he's concerned that the Epstein probe you are calling for could be a smokescreen to block the release of more files. Is that the case?
Well, I don't want to talk about it because fake news like you're a terrible reporter, and fake news like you, they just keep bringing that up to deflect from the tremendous...
Fake news like you keep bringing that up. You're trying to deflect. What's up, Izzy Glenn says fake news should be locked up.
The success of the Trump administration. So they just keep bringing that up to deflect from the tremendous success of the Trump administration. So a guy like Massey, his poll numbers are showing he's at 6% approval rating right now. And we call him Rand Paul Jr. because he never votes for the Republican Party. So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, you said they want to talk.
This is Thomas Massey, guys, right here. This is the guy he's talking about. He's another Rand Paul. Rand Paul and this guy do not vote with the Republicans. They're like sheep. They're just, for some reason, they're like fake Republicans for some reason. It's weird.
Their concern.
Look,
wants to talk. What does that mean? Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know. You want to talk to them?
What does he
Venezuela
say
would
here?
like to talk. He never votes for the Republican Party. So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party. Mr. President, on Venezuela, you said they want to talk. You said Venezuela wants to talk. What does that mean? Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know. You want to talk to them? I would. I talk to anybody. I talk to you, right? I talk to anybody. We'll see what happens.
Green says her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger. Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, he says.
Marjorie Trader Greene. I don't think her life is in danger.
The question was, have you heard that Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do you think about Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that her life is in danger because of the way Trump is talking about her? And he says, Marjorie Trader Greene.
I don't think
her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
her life is in danger. Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, he says.
Marjorie Trader Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. I don't think, frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her. Okay, what
On
about
affordability of health care, are you negotiating with lawmakers?
Oh my God, bro. Marjorie Taylor Trader Greene, bro. Oh my God.
Health care ahead of a vote next.
I am. We're negotiating with lawmakers.
Hughes says, I like her. Look, we talked about this earlier, bro. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. God, now I'm screwing it up. And that's the thing we like about, being on the right, being conservative, guys, is that we don't cancel each other just because one day one of us wakes up and gets mad at the other. We don't all just act like a cult and cancel that person. You know what I mean? So we're open-minded, and I love that.
And I've had personal talks with some Democrats. I can't tell you who they are. I just don't want to do that. It's not fair to them. About paying large amounts of dollars back to the people. This was my idea. It came up during that. Oftentimes under times of stress, like the shutdown, you come up with great ideas that you wouldn't have thought of before. The insurance companies are making a fortune. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a short period of time. They are taking in hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're not really putting it back, certainly not like they should. So when I see this, and when I've seen this over the last pretty short period of time, I said, why do we just pay this money directly to the people of our country and let them buy their own health insurance? And I made that statement, and then
Dude, I really hope he does something with health insurance, man. Imagine if we can get health insurance dialed in.
made it a little bit cavalierly, but it sounded good. And
It's expensive for everyone. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't care if you're conservative or liberal or a wokey. I don't care if you're a socialist. Medical is expensive right now for everybody. Everybody. It's the opposite of being affordable. It's the Unaffordable Care Act.
everybody is picked up, including Democrats. And I am talking to some Democrats right now about doing that. People love it. We're going to take the money, well, if it gets approved, we're going to take the money, we're going to pay it back to the people of our country to go out and buy health insurance. Now, they could put it in a health account. We can do it a lot of different ways.
Okay, that I don't think is a bad idea. Put it in a health account. The problem I have with him giving everyone $2,000 checks or whatever it is he was talking about, or giving people money like that, is we all know how that goes for our country. I rather do something that is in stone solid for our country that can make a change. Personally, I'd rather have that. But there are options out there, obviously. So let's see what he's saying.
But they buy their own health insurance. They can negotiate price. And it's going to be locked, so they can't go out and buy a Cadillac. They can go out and buy health insurance.
Mr. President, is it time for Congress to move legislation that puts pressure on Russia and puts pressure on Putin?
Well, I hear they're doing that, and that's okay with me. They're passing legislation, or the Republicans are putting...
Lauren Evelay is a Trump hater and a beta male.
You are a Trump hater And you're a beta male.
In legislation that very tough, it's sanctioning, etc., on any country doing business with Russia. They may add Iran
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male.
to that, as you know. I suggested it. So any country that does business with Russia will be very severely sanctioned. We may add Iran to the formula, yeah.
TDS has entered the chat.
Mr. President, Tucker Carlson recently had a friendly interview with anti-Semite Nick Fuentes. Tucker Carlson. What role do you think Tucker Carlson should play in the Republican Party and the conservative movement going forward?
Well, I found him to be good. I mean, he said good things about me over the years. I think he's good. We've had some good interviews. I did an interview with him. We had 300 million hits. You know that. Look, I can't tell him.
Should he be?
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst.
I love it. Look at him. The way he looks at. Will you let me finish my statement? You're the worst. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him, bro. Look at this guy. The Great White Hope, ladies and gentlemen.
The Great White Hope.
I did an interview with him. We had 300 million hits. You know that. Look, I can't tell him.
Should he be?
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you.
Damn, he just dogging her, staring her right in the face, going, you are the worst. I don't even know why they have you. Listen.
Look, I can't tell him.
Should he be?
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you.
Oh my God, bro. Let me zoom in on his face so you can see. Let me zoom in on his face, bro. Watch this. Look at this.
Look, I can't tell him.
Look at him.
Should he be?
Look at him.
You let me finish my statement. You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you. We've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes, I don't know much about him, but if he wants to do it, get the word out. Let him, people have to decide. Ultimately, people have to decide. The mayor of New York.
I like that, bro. Look at that. What an answer. He's talking about Nick Fuentes, and he says he doesn't care. Let him do what he's doing. People need to get the word out, and let the people decide. That's a good response, dude, in my opinion.
I don't know why they even have you.
Listen to this.
We've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes...
He says, we can't tell him who he wants. He's talking about Tucker Carlson. He says, we can't tell him who to interview. He can interview who he wants. Watch.
We've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes, I don't know much about him, but if he wants to do it, get the word out. Let him, people have to decide. Ultimately, people have to decide. The mayor of New York, I will say, would like.
And W. Nathan, bro, he says, no other president has ever been this quick. Absolutely right, bro. No other president.
And we'll work something out. But he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
You yourself had dinner with Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. What role should he play in the conservative movement?
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was with, as you know, somebody, Kanye. And Kanye asked if he could have dinner.
I love this, bro. Look at these questions he's getting asked. Candy in the chat says free speech. That's part of our constitution. But look, they're asking him about his dinner with Nick Fuentes right here. Listen to what he says, because that dinner was with Trump and Kanye and Nick Fuentes. Listen to this.
He play in the conservative movement.
Well, I didn't know.
They're saying what should Nick Fuentes play in the conservative movement? Listen to this.
A few years ago. What role should he play in the conservative movement?
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was
Hold on, let me go back a little bit further.
Us and work something out, but he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything work out well for New York.
You yourself had dinner with Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. What role should he play in the conservative movement?
Well, I didn't know he was coming, and he was with, as you know, somebody, Kanye. And Kanye asked if he could have dinner, and he brought Nick. I didn't know Nick at the time. And he did. He came, and along with a few other people. He brought a few people with him. meeting people, talking to people, like for somebody like Tucker. That's what they do. You know, people are controversial. Some are, some aren't. I'm not controversial, so I like it that way. Okay.
Venezuela, are you discussing options with Congress? Are you going to Congress to discuss potential options you're considering?
I'd like to keep
Izzy in the chat says there should be no free speech for Democrats, only Republicans.
Congress involved. I mean, we're stopping drug dealers and drugs from coming into our country. And I actually told Marco and some of the people, our Secretary of State is doing a great job, by the way. I said, go to Congress and let them know we're not letting drugs come through Mexico. We're not letting them come through Venezuela. And let Congress know about it. We don't have to get their approval, but I think letting them know is good. The only thing I don't want them to do is leak information that's very important and confidential and may put our military at risk, or whoever is doing, you know, CIA, military, etc. But I did say, I said, go.
A good question, Min. Min in the chat says Kanye has now sobered up and apologized to Jewish people. Wonder if Trump had anything to do with that.
Go and see Congress, see the representatives that we're supposed to be seeing, and be open about it. If they say, we don't want you to stop drugs from coming into the country, I don't think that would be good, yes.
Are any other countries committed to helping the U.S. with Venezuela, or is all our action still?
Yeah, we have great support because it's all about drugs. Well, in Venezuela's case, it's about drugs, and it's also about thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that they've released into our country. And some are gang members from Tren de Aragua, some are many are drug dealers, some are murderers. So in the case of Venezuela, it's the prison population. Their almost entire prison population was released into the United States. You know what that means? Their prison population was released into the United States. And we're getting it out. We're doing an amazing job. We have a strong border now. We have everything. Our country's doing so well. But what the Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. And the single worst thing they did is allow 20 or 25 million people to pour into our country. People from prisons, drug dealers, mental institutions, bad people, gang members, to allow that to happen to the United States, totally unchecked and unvetted, should never be forgotten. What they've done to our country is a very big thing. But we are correcting it. We have strong borders now. We have a great economy. The prices are coming down. The Democrats like to use the word affordability, but their affordability was terrible. The problem with the Democrats, they lie. They do it so well. They talk about affordability, but I'm the one that's getting the prices down. As an example, they had the highest inflation in the history of our country. I have it down now to a normal level, and it's going down further. Thank you very much, everybody.
He did have it down. He brought it way down. Now check this out. He has it way down right now.
Trials on Epstein. Get this all over with. This administration has done more with respect
frankly,
to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein.
And so should the
Epstein than any administration has done. This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever. In fact, this administration, the Department of Justice, has turned over tens of thousands of documents to the American people. We are cooperating and showing support for the House Oversight Committee. That's part of the reason you are seeing these documents that were released today, because of the House Oversight Committee's and Republicans' efforts to get these out to the public. This administration also moved, the Department of Justice also moved to unseal grand jury testimony, which we know, unfortunately, a judge declined those requests. So this administration has done more than any, and it just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party. For now, they're talking about it all of a sudden because President Trump is in the Oval Office. But when Joe Biden was sitting in there, the Democrats never brought this up. This wasn't an issue that they cared about because they actually don't care about the victims in these cases. They care about trying to score political points against President Trump, as we have, of course, seen with this government shutdown. And this entire thing, again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media, and it's why.
But this is the part right here.
So this administration has done more than any, and it just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party. For now, they're talking about it all of a sudden because President Trump is in the Oval Office. But when Joe Biden was sitting in there, the Democrats never brought this up. This wasn't an issue that they cared about because they actually don't care about the victims in these cases. They care about trying to score political points against President Trump.
They don't care about the victims in the cases. They care about scoring political points. That's the whole point of that. So the screen won't pull up what I need, but it's okay. Here we go.
Of course, seen with this government shutdown. And this entire thing, again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media, and it's why I'm being asked questions about Epstein instead of the government reopening because of Republicans and President Trump.
But given your
Reagan.
interest in transparency, Caroline, why are White House officials then meeting with Representative Boebert in an effort to try and get her to not sign this petition calling for the release of the files?
Doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please? Doesn't that show our level of transparency? Doesn't that show the level of transparency when we are willing to sit down with members of Congress and address their concerns? That is that's a defining factor of transparency. Having discussions with members of Congress about very.
If you're curious and you don't know about our inflation, here is an inflation guide for you. Here you go. Here is a Daddy Trump inflation guide. This right here is inflation under Daddy Trump's first term. This is the inflation under Joe Biden, 9%. And here it is, again, under Daddy Trump's second term. That's your inflation guide. That's the cost of living. That's the problem.
Children of the lie are having a hissy fit.
Break it up! Break it up! Police! Break it up! Police! Break it up! Hey, white boy! Break it up! You're bleeding! Hey, white boy! You're bleeding! Break it up! Break it up! What the happened?
Guy. The DOJ is investigating.
Terry Vining, tell me more.
Investigating a riot at UC Berkeley at a TPUSA event after a mob of far-left agitators allegedly assaulted attendees. This is part of a growing trend of far-left intimidation tactics at Turning Point events.
Hey, Nazis, can you set up somewhere where I can avoid you easily?
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
Nah, Nazi. Watch your neck. No, thanks.
Why do you like
shot in the neck for a reason?
These lefties completely lose it.
Whoa! That's mine. Please give that back. That's mine. Please give that back.
And the threats go well beyond college campuses. A man was arrested after appearing at Alina Habba's office with a bat and then allegedly ransacking her office. Joining us now for tonight's big close-up to give us more information on all of it is Deputy
Hell yeah, thank you guys. W boo boo, bro.
Attorney
Thank
General
you.
Todd Blanche. Todd, thanks so much for joining us. We have a lot to get to.
Terry Vining says, Set has a guy on often that I love hearing debate. Set, who's Set? And let me know. I'd love to learn more.
But I want to start with these recent attacks. Can you give us some insight into these cases? And are you seeing a surge of far-left violence against Trump supporters? And more importantly, how do you balance going after these thugs and degenerates with the First Amendment and free speech?
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much. I mean, there's a big difference between free speech and free protest and what we've been seeing over the past several weeks with respect to multiple incidents of violence. Not only what happened with the Turning Point incident in California and what happened with U.S. Attorney Habba and in her office, but there's a big difference between people peacefully protesting, protected by the First Amendment, and what we've been seeing, which is pure violence by activists that don't want, that they're not just there to like make a statement, they're not there to just say the right thing, they're there to actually inject violence, harm, and actually damage individuals, damage property, and that's what we're investigating, and that's what we've been investigating for the past several weeks.
Who is Set? I try to look him up. I can't find him. If you have his username or you know what I should search, let me know. And yes, these guys are showing their true colors. The problem is liberals, they can't back up what they believe in by speaking, by actually discussing things and like explaining to people and debating people. So they go to violence and theft. They start stealing everybody's shit. It's just
situation in California with Turning Point was heartbreaking. It was horrible what happened. What happened with U.S. Attorney Haba was somebody getting all the way into the building and destroying property. There's a big difference between the First Amendment protests and what's been happening all over this country, and that's what we're investigating is what's happening all over this country.
Todd, the city of Chicago is suing the DOJ over this community policing grant that requires the city to basically rebuke DEI or show that they're not instilling DEI in their hiring process because DOJ finds some of this unlawful. But the Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says upholding.
What up, Kev Dog? Yeah, we just hit 10K. We hit it this morning or in the earlier live stream, but we hit it again because we went down and back up
Diversity
again.
is
Here we go.
An essential part of his city. So now they're suing the DOJ, saying they, I guess, should be able to incorporate DEI with this grant and the people they hire. What's your reaction to it?
Edgar Vasquez is saying people like you and this media are full of misinformation. That creates violence. I'm tired of y'all playing the victim when you propagate the flames. First of all, it's the Democrats that play the victim. Second of all, what misinformation? Please enlighten us. Third of all, should we call ICE on you?
I mean, my reaction to that is that, like, look at what's happening in Chicago. There are multiple shootings every week. There's violence on the streets. And instead of actually joining forces with President Trump, joining forces with local law enforcement, federal law enforcement, to actually make Chicagoans safe, they're threatening to sue us. That's something that every person in this country should realize is happening. And the problem with that, with that happening in this country is that instead of actually working together to make our communities safer, to get together to get the violence off the streets, they're suing us over DEI. Which, by the way, we can all read the civil rights laws. We can all do all that. What we're doing is right under the law. And the fact that they're suing
Definitely a beta, bro.
us, trying to sue us, it won't be successful. Trying to sue us instead of actually helping make sure.
Oh, man. I just looked up Set on his YouTube or their YouTube, and I just subscribed. I'm down to have a chat with them. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Did this loser respond?
Chicagoans safe is exactly what's wrong with the leadership in Chicago and in Illinois. And that's why we're not going to stop. We're doing exactly what we said. President Trump has been completely committed since he won last November to making this country safe, including Chicago. And that's what we're doing, notwithstanding what they're threatening to do to us with respect to these DEI policies that they have in place.
Definitely a beta, bro. Edgar is definitely a beta.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Man.
Be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Come on now, Edgar. Are you a DEI hire?
Todd, if I can, I want to get your
Is that why you're all bent out of shape because they're talking about you on the show? Are you DEI, bro?
reaction to the
Come on, Edgar. Should we call ICE, bro?
attempt from James Comey and Letitia James to
Don't make me call ICE, dude.
disqualify Lindsay Halligan from prosecuting those cases against them. They claim that she was appointed unlawfully. They want her removed. And oh, by the way, they want their cases dismissed. What's the reality of this? And what is it that they are wrong about with respect to how they're going about it?
I mean, look, what's happening in Virginia is the same thing that's happening in multiple jurisdictions in this country, which is that President Trump nominates a U.S. attorney, and either the senators refuse to even engage in any sort of negotiation or even interviewing or talking to the individuals that President Trump has nominated, but actually then the judges are stepping in and saying, no, you can't be U.S. attorney. That's not consistent with Article 2 of this Constitution. And look, U.S. Attorney Halligan is doing a phenomenal job in the EDVA.
Oh, I see Set does two different streams simultaneously. They do a vertical and a horizontal at the same time.
And the argument was last week. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But the reality is that there's cases that we have investigated, that have been brought before a grand jury, that have been indicted. And listen, they have a right to come. They have a right to fruition. They have a right to see what happens in front of a jury of the peers. And so what's happening with U.S. Attorney Halligan and multiple U.S. attorneys in this country is something that we're fighting every day. And we'll win. There's no doubt that we'll win at some point, but it's a reflection of what's happening, unfortunately, in this country with the politics of the president talks about it all the time. It's really at its basic level, Trump derangement syndrome, right? Because the president has nominated people, phenomenal attorneys, to be U.S. attorneys, and you have judges, you have senators who have said, no, we're not even going to talk to them, much less even consider letting them work. And so she's doing a great job in Virginia, and I expect that she'll continue doing that.
Todd, turning now to the DOJ's lawsuit against California, your office claims their new congressional map is unconstitutional because it uses race as a factor in the redistricting process. Governor Newsom's press office is confident you're going to lose in court, though. What do you expect Newsom to argue in court, and how confident are you that you can win the case?
I mean, this is America. So you should not have districting based upon race, based upon the color of your skin. And that's been the law for a long time. And the fact that California takes a different view right now is something that is disappointing, but we're fighting it very hard, and which we should. We should fight that very hard. Like, we should not let the color of somebody's skin and the color of a community be the determinative factor of whether somebody's a representative to represent that community in Congress, in the Senate. And so, look, the Department of Justice is completely committed to enforcing the laws, the civil rights.
Come on now. That's enough of that. Let's go back to Daddy Trump. Where's he at? Where's Trump, dude? I want to see this again.
Okay, everybody, we had a great weekend. From an economic standpoint, our prices are coming down very substantially on groceries and things. They're already at a much lower level than they were with the last administration. And we worked on it this weekend, and you're going to see some of the items that were a little bit higher. They were lower than the last administration, but a little bit higher. We're going to have some little price reductions, and in some cases, some pretty good ones. They use the affordability word. The affordability is much, much better.
Is he left-leaning or right-leaning, bro?
With this. And again,
and is it someone there like me where they'll actually debate?
Go to Walmart and other companies, and in every case, it's about 25%. That a meal, a Thanksgiving meal and surroundings are 25% lower than it was under the Biden administration. That's a big fact, and that comes from Walmart and others that do that. Okay? Any questions?
Any update on Venezuela, Mr. President? On Venezuela, update?
No update on Venezuela.
The designation of that cartel associated with Maduro, does that mean that the U.S. government can target Maduro's assets or infrastructure inside Venezuela?
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
Mr. President, Representative Massey says he's concerned that the Epstein probe you are calling for.
Paul Rodriguez says, "Girl, no one wants to debate you." Who's Paul talking?
Could be a smokescreen to block the release of more files. Is that the case?
Well, I don't want to talk about it because fake news like you're a terrible reporter, and fake news like you, they just keep bringing that up to deflect from the tremendous success of the Trump administration. So a guy like Massey, his poll numbers are showing he's at 6% approval rating right now. And we call him Rand Paul Jr. because he never votes for the Republican Party. So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, you said they want to talk. You said Venezuela wants to talk. What does that mean?
Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know.
You want to talk to them?
I talk to anybody. I talk to you, right? I talk to anybody. We'll see what happens.
Green says her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, he says.
Marjorie Trader Green.
Marjorie Trader Green. Here we go.
Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her. Okay, what about
affordability of health care? Are you negotiating with lawmakers on health care ahead of a vote next
I am. We're negotiating with lawmakers, and I've had personal talks with some Democrats. I can't tell you who they are. I just don't want to do that. It's not fair to them. About paying large amounts of dollars back to the people. You know, this was my idea. It came up during that. You know, oftentimes under times of stress, like the shutdown, you come up with great ideas that you wouldn't have thought of before. The insurance companies are making a fortune. Their stock is up over 1,000% over a short.
Ron, it's all good. It's all good, bro. Ron, it's okay. I actually, like I said, I think it's okay for them not to be talking, bro. It's, you know, and to have their little spats or whatever you want to call it. We're on the right, bro. We can disagree. We're not a cult, you know, like this loser is trying to say. Who's this loser in the chat? What's his name? There's another Rodriguez, bro, is what he is. We gotta call ice on him too, bro. Paul Rodriguez. We're not a cult, bro. It's okay. We can disagree and we get mad. We don't cancel each other. We keep, you know, at it, and I'm sure they're gonna make up again.
Short period of time.
Maybe.
They are taking in hundreds
How many people has Trump hated and then made up again with?
of billions of dollars, and they're not really putting it back, certainly not like they should. So when I see this, and when I've seen this over the last pretty short period of time, I said, why do we just pay this money?
Exactly. Ron says, I feel that I agree we're not in the cult. If him and Elon can make up, I'm sure him and Marjorie can too. Exactly.
Directly to the people of our country and let them buy their own health insurance. And you know, I made that statement, and I made it a little bit cavalierly, but it sounded good. And everybody has picked up, including Democrats. And I am talking to some Democrats right now about doing that. People love it. We're going to take the money, well, if it gets approved, we're going to take the money, we're going to pay it back to the people of our country to go out and buy health insurance. Now, they could put it in a health account. We can do it a lot of different ways. But they'd buy their own health insurance. They can negotiate price. And it's going to be locked, so they can't go out and buy a
Drifter, bro.
Cadillac. They can go out and buy health insurance.
Tucker Carlson.
Hey, Miss Medication, are you going to make us dessert like Min did?
Is it time for Congress to move legislation that puts
Come on
pressure
now.
on Russia and puts
Come on, woman. Go back in the kitchen where you belong. Come on now. Make me some food. Make us some dessert. Ice cream will work. I'll do a little ice cream, protein ice cream. Let me trigger these lefties. Come on, woman. Get back in that kitchen.
Min's one, I have to buy the stuff.
All right.
pressure on Putin?
Well, I hear they're doing that, and that's okay with me. They're passing legislation, or the Republicans are putting in
Are you going to put a little more clothes on so you can come say hi? Come on. They miss you.
legislation that very tough. It's sanctioning, et cetera, on any country doing business with Russia. They may add.
Holy cow. Random says he has to be up at 5:30 in the morning. I've never heard Random say that he had to ever get up in the morning.
Iran to that, as you know.
Damn,
I suggested it. So any country that does business with Russia will be very severely sanctioned. We may add Iran to the formula, yeah.
Mr. President, Tucker Carlson recently had a friendly interview with anti-Semite Nick Fuentes. Tucker Carlson, what role do you think Tucker Carlson could play in the Republican Party.
I love, see, this is why I want to go back to I love this part of this little discussion is he says, dude, Tucker Carlson can interview who he wants and anybody should be able to do and say what they want to say.
The conservative movement going forward.
Well, I found him to be good. I mean, he said good things about me over the years. I think he's good. We've had some good interviews. I did an interview with him where we had 300 million hits. You know that.
What up, Dubu?
Look, I can't tell him.
Da Buddha. Da Buddha.
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst.
Will you? I love this. Is what I really wanted to hear. He says, "Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst." Look at it. Look at this.
Look, I can't tell him.
Should he be?
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you. We've had some great interviews with Tucker Carlson, but you can't tell him who to interview. I mean, if he wants to interview Nick Fuentes, I don't know much about him, but if he wants to do it, get the word out. Let him, people have to decide. Ultimately, people have to decide. The mayor of New York, I will say, would like to meet with us and we'll work something out, but he would like to come to Washington and meet, and we'll work something out. We want to see everything.
Damn, Random has to get up early on Monday, and he's having the Sunday scaries, dude. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Droning drug boats.
Where are we at?
Do you disagree with that?
Does our boy get down or what?
Okay. The bad guys are using drones. Does anybody disagree with that? Okay. And the federal government has the authority.
The Sunday scaries are when you got shit to do on a Monday and you're already losing your mind on a Sunday and you're already pissed off about your Monday. Those are the Sunday scaries.
To fight back, does it not? But nobody disagrees with that statement? Sure, Professor.
I would say within limits, yes. Within constitutional limits.
Okay. Do any of you disagree with giving state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back?
Again, within constitutional limits.
Okay. Tell me what your constitutional concerns are, Professor.
So I have three primary concerns. The first has to do with the Fourth Amendment and the conditions under which a warrant is required and a general warrant is forbidden by the Fourth Amendment. So in this particular case, it's important.
Professor, before you give me one of your lectures, are you saying?
Got some protein ice cream, dude. Check this out. Got some protein ice cream right here. Let me do a little zoom on this bitch. Look at this, dude. This is this stuff right here. Ooh. Dude. Look at that, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That we should require state and local law enforcement to get a warrant before they fight back?
It depends on the condition. So in an exigent circumstance or something along the border.
I'm aware of the exceptions to the warrant requirement.
Is Kennedy fighting for the rights of civilians to shoot down drones or our military to shoot down drones? That's what I want to know.
But you, generally speaking, you want to require them to get a warrant.
Only for the search.
Anybody want to call in? Now's the time, bro. Let's do this.
Search of a device or the seizure of property. There are also due process implications of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You started to mention another one of your objections.
First Amendment.
First Amendment. Okay. Any others?
Yeah, I also have a state rights, a 10th Amendment concern here, which is that states own the airspace adjacent to the land within their state that's not federally owned, and the current federal provisions don't recognize state sovereignty in that way.
It actually does taste good. This ice cream, this specific one does taste good. Can you jump in? I gave up my Google chat number. I'm going to get a new one soon, but can you join Discord to jump on the call?
So you want to give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back but you want to list a whole lot of conditions. Is that a fair assessment?
Not a whole lot, but some. There needs to be a nexus to the facility. It can't be any drone anywhere in America if you're concerned about a particular facility, but right now it's too broad. There have to be acknowledgments of First Amendment concerns. So for instance, limiting the covered facilities to the experience and logic test which the courts use for right of public access, or prohibiting media bans across the board, or removing...
Random, I swear, bro, I'm going to do horizontal streams real soon. I promise you, bro. I swear. Random's losing
setting
it.
a time limit before and after special events so they don't extend extensively. This is what a number of state measures already do, and I'd like to see that at a federal level and apply.
I swear, bro, I got to change a bunch of shit to make it a horizontal on different platforms. So it's a pain, but I'm going to do it soon. I promise you I'll do it probably Monday. Probably tomorrow I will do it.
To bring this within the constitutional
Sounds
limits.
like a lot of conditions to me.
No, not very many. As long as there's probable cause and the conditions are met, then absolutely you can.
Have you ever heard of a legislative practice called loving a bill to death?
I can also do Riverside. If you guys want to call in, who does that person still want to call in? If so, I can give you a link to a meeting app called Riverside.
Yes.
Okay. And that's when you take a bill and somebody says, I'm really for this bill. But then they add so many
Okay, then I'll make sure to do it when you're here, bro, for sure.
amendments. And they screw it up so badly that the bill either becomes ineffective or doesn't pass. Is that a pretty accurate description?
Of the term?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're trying to love this to death, aren't you?
I disagree.
You're not really for giving law enforcement the power to fight back, are you?
I am in favor of giving law enforcement that power and respecting constitutional limits.
I don't believe you, Professor. Okay? You're not talking to Bambi's baby brother here. Okay? I've read some of your stuff. I think you'd be more intellectually honest if you just come out and say, I'm on the side of the bad guys here. I think we shouldn't give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back. You're trying to make it as hard as...
Good to have you, Ron. See you, bro. See you soon.
Awesome. Aren't you?
We'll have to disagree on that point, Senator.
Nah. You know, you ever heard the expression, watch what they do, not what they say? I've watched what you've done. I know what you believe.
Damn, bro. Watch what they do, not what they say. I've watched what you done.
Oh, you're on the FISA court?
I'm not on the court. No, I'm an amicus for the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court and the Court of Review.
Picture this: a Senate hearing in Washington, and the stakes, the safety of America.
What the hell was that?
In the hunts, of course, their limits.
What the hell does that sound, bro? That don't make no sense. What the hell are they doing?
They are losing it. Democrats included Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Donald Trump is nothing if not a man who protects, first and foremost, Donald Trump.
And what's wrong with that? You're supposed to protect yourself, dummy.
Dummy.
Didn't the fallen Messiah, Obama, the worst president ever?
Hold on, go back. Come on, bro.
And Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Donald Trump is nothing if not a man who protects, first and foremost, Donald Trump.
And what's wrong with that? You're supposed to protect yourself, dummy.
A dummy.
Didn't the fallen Messiah, Obama, the worst president ever, protect himself? The media protected the fallen Messiah. The Democrats protected the fallen Messiah. The Rhino Republicans protected the fallen Messiah. And so Donald Trump is only trying to protect himself. And
I love it, bro. I love it. I love it.
Is your camera set up? There are some liberal women on the court.
True.
Sotomayor And so if Brett Kavanaugh is a mama's boy, how will he go up against those liberals who hate men? Those women. Will he be able to handle them?
That's a good question. George W. Bush said that he's a great pick.
See, that made me nervous.
But he worked.
Again, guys, if you're trying to jump on, you can jump on Discord, or I can give you a link to a meeting.
For George.
That made me nervous. My point is, those liberals on the bench are nasty people.
Yeah.
And they hate men, they hate conservatives. So when this guy come up against them, will he be able to endure if he's a mama's boy?
Pushy women do easily push around
mama's boys. Except for Clarence Thomas.
Right.
They don't mess with Clarence.
The Law of One says...
It was something that happened naturally. We were in classes, we talked, we became friends.
That was easy.
So the thing is, you should, the same way you champion everything else, you should champion everyone.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate your call. Back in a moment. What happened to you?
Hello, Jesse. How are you?
Something has happened. He is the High Priest Brian Warner.
Hello, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Thank you so much for coming on. A few things about the Satanic Temple. I've never heard of this before. I don't know what it means and what you guys do.
I know, man. It's a big problem. I got to make sure I drink a ton of water.
Sure. Are you familiar with Anton LaVey?
No.
It's a very humanist, natural religion. It's actually the extreme lack of religion. We're atheists, so we don't believe.
What up, Beta?
Even a heaven or a hell. So it wasn't until we adapted ourselves as a religion that we can now enjoy the same rights and privileges that everybody else can. Whether it be trying to teach BS creationism in school or whatever it might be, whether it be the Hobby Lobby situation here, where we believe that a woman's right to her body is her choice and not some Christian lawmakers. In the Hobby Lobby situation...
You support same-sex marriage and all that crap, too?
Here's the thing. Marriage was around for thousands of years before Christianity, as long as you are a tax-paying free citizen in this country.
So is that a yes?
What was that?
Is that a yes?
That's an absolute. That's an absolute yes.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Let me ask. So the Satanic Temple, is that a building, a church building, a temple?
Yeah, we are a national organization with, at this point, with 10,000 plus members with physical.
W Avant Rec, bro. RHEC. Anyone, he says in the chat, anyone who likes JLP, we're automatically friends. Well, buddy, we are automatically friends, sir. Good to have you.
Co-locations in multiple cities.
And so do you go to this church, whatever you call it, Sunday mornings?
What you call a mass, we call a proclamation of personal sovereignty. We don't believe that, praying for something is going to bring some sort of supernatural entity down from the sky and intervene in our lives. I'm not that ignorant. But we encourage people to look within, not above.
And when you look within, what are you looking for?
Yourself. Understand that you are your own God. Your choices and your decisions affects the outcome of your life.
So you created. You created yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Every man creates his own heaven. Every man creates his own hell.
Brian, how did you?
Come on, Reno. Are you a beta?
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Come on now. Come on, Reno. Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman. Create yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm 34 years old. I grew up on the streets of Chicago. I was 14 years old and homeless half my life. I'm adopted. My mother was raped.
How did you create this body that you live in?
I'm explaining that. So at 21 years old, I finally graduated high school. By 23, I became a commodities broker. I made my first million by 28. I blew it, spent it, and now I own 7 different registered S corporations in excess of over $1 million in revenue a year. Again, I should be unpacking boxes at UPS right now, but because
Fucking drifter. He's splooging his own mother to make himself beta.
Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male.
Come on, bro.
Person can have perseverance and direction, and they can achieve anything they want in this world.
But, bro,
It's just
how
a
did
matter
you
of
create
personal
your
limitation.
body? How did you create your body?
Easy. My mother had sex with my father, and I came out.
So you didn't have
Biology
anything.
101.
So you didn't have anything to do with that personally, right?
No. But do I have the
Okay.
choice to continue
So-
living, or do I have the choice to end it? Yeah, absolutely.
So you didn't create
everything in life is a choice.
So you didn't create your own body. You had nothing to do with that. How about the spirit that lives in your body? How
You mean the spirit that you can't prove it? You mean the spirit that you can't prove exists?
do you have life in your body?
Do I have light in my body?
Life.
What does that
No,
even mean?
life.
No.
Life, not light.
Yes,
Life.
my heart beats, and if my heart stops beating, you can put a defibrillator on my heart and re-kickstart my heart and bring me back to life.
And how did you put this life in your body?
Easy. I said that before. My mother had sex with my father. I was the outcome. That's what happens when two biological creatures procreate. It's very simple.
I'm trying to get a really good understanding of what you guys are about. So you go to this place that you call the Satanic Temple, and do you worship Satan? What do you guys say in the building? What do you do? What do you do while you're there?
Satan to us.
Reno, Trump is your daddy, bro, and Trump is the Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope.
You are a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater, and you're a beta male.
This is a metaphor.
So you see Satan as a joke. What do you and Lucifer talk about?
Obviously, launching the monument that we're putting up in Oklahoma next to the monument of the Ten Commandments, or whether it be the Black Mass that we had at Harvard, or whether it be us holding the same-sex satanic ceremony over the grave of Fred Phelps' mother from the Westboro Baptist Church, or any of the Hobby Lobby situation. A lot of it's more of a political rather than a spiritual conversation.
This guy's lost
When you guys
it, bro.
go to
This
your
guy's
temple,
lost it. We
you
need
just talk about how to bash the good folks.
Yeah,
We
I was
need to go.
raised Catholic.
We
My
need to
family
go.
is very evangelical. I've read the Bible cover to cover, and I find it for the repulsing piece of garbage that it is.
Your father, your father and mother are Christians?
Yes, devout, born again, absolutely, and that came about recently.
And so you were
However, being
raised-
Italian, I was raised Catholic.
And you were
So
raised
we
by your
are.
both
They don't have
parents.
to have-
Who were you closest to while growing up?
I never met my father, so only my mother.
Oh, no wonder.
Well, no, I had a stepfather that
no
was in my life
wonder.
since I was 2 years. I've had a stepfather that was
We
involved in my life.
You just described a black person. No, a feminine man is a weak man because he's a woman. He's a beta.
No, he's not, Jesse.
Yeah, he's a beta.
No, he's not.
He is a beta.
I can't believe I'm being bullied right now on live on the air.
Disagreeing and complaining about the Jews.
I had a lot of.
Are they Democrats can
right here where he tells him he goes
not be trusted at all.
Jesse,
You
if the
cannot trust.
he goes, quiet, Democrat.
Why would we need to?
Hey, hold on, Democrat. Hey, hold on, beta male. Hold on, Democrat. Listen to him. Look, listen to what this is the best shit, bro. I miss this younger Jesse going on TV with everyone. Look at this.
Not be trusted at all.
Jesse, if the
Hold
violence is a
on,
hoax,
hey, hold
why
on,
would we
hold
need
on,
to?
Democrat.
Why would we need
Hold
to?
on, beta. Hold on, beta.
Close the
Beta
election.
male. Hold
Why
on,
why
sir.
would we have to do
Hold
that,
on,
Jesse?
beta male.
No, wait,
Hold
why
on.
don't you
Okay, one
explain
minute,
yourself? Because you're conflicting.
Why are you always interrupting, man? Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you.
Because you're a lying fool, and I don't want the people of the world to hear you.
I don't need you to interrupt me, Mr. Beta Male. Hold on. The president.
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm a beta male? Come on out here.
Hold on, Beta Male. The president and
Come out,
all
right,
of us.
Jesse. We'll see who's a beta
we
male.
know,
Okay.
Hold on, man. We know that the Democrats.
I said the order of God. That men are superior to women, which is a book that is a lie.
I want to blend in as a woman. That's all I want to do. I do a pretty good job of it.
No, you don't look like a woman at all.
Besides my chin, if I hide my chin, yes, I do.
I love it, bro.
Jesse.
You got to do more than that.
Well, that's your opinion.
This is Reno on the right trying to blend in.
So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay?
Opinion.
No, I can. Stevie Wonder can see that you're not a woman.
See, I'm not an adult entertainer, okay? I don't go to clubs and do shows and dance.
Oh.
I'm a proper lady. I'm just an average woman. What is funny?
Oh God.
What are you laughing at, Jesse?
I'm laughing at you. That you won't debate him, that you have cold feet, and that you are a beta male. Whatever that is. It's abnormal for a man to be a liberal or progressive. It's a sign of being a beta male.
I didn't know that.
Because real men are conservative.
Listen up, Reno, so you can learn something.
Republican, you know, and
listen up.
whatever that is.
Reno, listen up. You're gonna learn something
for a
here.
man to be a liberal or progressive is a sign of being a beta male.
I didn't know that.
Because real men are conservative, Republican, you know, and strong in nature. A man would not want a slut to be the mother of his children.
That's
right?
not true because
Not real men.
What is a
slut
real
man
man,
would.
Jesse? What is a real man? You?
Yes.
Well, Jesus was black.
If I became conservative, would I no longer be beta?
You would become alpha.
Wow.
he just looks at him with a straight face and says, "You become alpha."
You a slut.
I don't know what a slut is. How about that?
You don't know what it is, but you're here supporting it. Hashtag Black Lives Matter, Free Palestine, Free the People, and no DAPL.
I do.
And act like an animal.
I am a nurse.
A nurse. Almost.
In every animal species throughout hundreds and thousands of years, there's been homosexuality. So what is abnormal about it?
I agree with you that they act like animals, but that's because they're in a fallen state. And any human being that's in a fallen state act like an animal.
I am a nurse.
A nurse?
Yes.
Beta! Beta!
Beta!
Oh, I love it. He just look at his body language when he calls him a beta. A beta. He like gets all into it, bro. Look at this.
Act like an animal.
I am a nurse.
Watch this.
A nurse?
Yes.
Beta!
A beta!
Lamar, are you the head of your wife?
I like to think that we're equal.
Are you the head? Beta!
I am a no. I'm an alpha.
Not if you think you and your wife are equal. Beta!
Oh,
beta!
Because I tell you why.
Beta!
And my stepmom thought was in an attitude, and
he just keeps calling him beta. I love this guy, bro.
got really mad that I said that to her. And so not even like 2 minutes later, my dad called me.
Beta!
I told my dad.
Oh, poor daddy feeling hurt.
Poor.
Beta! Mark, welcome back.
Good morning, Jesse Lee, and happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
I was trying to get you to tell me exactly what Trump had done to achieve those so-called achievements, and you moved on to the Democratic Party. It's a very strange interview. I've never experienced anything like it.
Well, that's the first time in life for everything. Let me ask.
I did, Mac. I need to reach back out to him, bro. I left him hanging. I hit him up and I asked them if they want to collab on merch and also to get on the show. So I'm going to see. I'll hit him up.
Would you?
Jesse's getting older now. His eyes are a little droopy. He's a little slower, dude. He's a little slower.
Want to take a shower?
But I love him, man. I want to get him on the show so bad.
With some guy who decides that he feels like a woman, and there you are in the shower. He walk into and just take off his clothes and get in there with you?
If you were alone, you would not be able to increase your productivity. You would not be able to create more loaves of bread.
But that's why I hire someone.
Exactly.
But they don't
When you
have to
hire
work for me if
someone-
they don't want to.
I know, but where would they
They
go?
are the
They would
ones
go
who
to
agree.
another. They would go
First
to
of all,
another factory where they would have the same.
No, I would
conditions.
call the police.
Godson says, collab? Who the fuck are you, buddy? Your daddy, bro. I'm your daddy.
Tell me that I have an illegal
And that-
alien here.
And that is
You need to
capitalism.
come
You're right.
together.
That is exactly the problem.
No, they have no business in my company or in my country.
Okay.
And so I would call the police.
the leakies, which are scientists out of remember the
forget about a leaky.
They have a role to play in dismantling that ideology that puts them
So you
in their own minds and in the white imagination ahead of
God's son.
So you are gay? I didn't know you were gay. I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay?
Come on, bro.
people of color.
Amazing.
Come on, get a hold of yourself.
Do you realize you're fighting an illusion?
I am a writer. I am a Latina. I am Boricua. I'm a mother. I'm a poet. I'm an artist. I'm all the things.
Are you a slut? Why do black people see white?
I am a lot of things. I'm all these things. Are you a slut? Oh my God, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Guys, with that, I'm gonna end the show tonight. That was a good Sunday night. We had some good fun. God's son needs to get a hold of himself. I think he's transitioning. He's having a moment. We'll give him a little space. It's all good, bro. Happens to the best of you guys on the left. We had to call ICE on a few people. Hope that went well. And really enjoyed you guys. Thanks. We hit 10K. For Min, it's 11:11. It was meant to be, baby. I love it. And it's 9:11 here in Cali. 9:11, like the Porsche behind me, and you can't see it till I go like this. Till that Porsche, like that Porsche right there, is 9:11 out here, baby. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me. We hit 10K. Damn, dude, it's nuts, bro. We're going crazy in 2 months, from 600 subscribers to 10K in 2 months and 7 weeks, almost 7-8 weeks. Wow, nuts, crazy. All right, guys, thank you again. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I will catch you tomorrow morning on the stream. See ya. Bye.